All right. So hopefully we're live. Let's wait for YouTube and to see that we're good with the audio and pin the comment so everyone has a link so anyone can join. Okay, sounds okay. All right. So let's begin. Oh, so today we're going to be responding to Thunderfoot's latest video, Our Legacy, Your Future Explained. It's about global warming. So let's begin. Let me start from zero.
You still don't understand what you're dealing with, do you? I tried so hard.
We have a kind of handwriting on the wall.
I was strong enough. I've got enough.
Indulge yourself. No consequences.
So this represents all of the power production of mankind. Absolutely everything. Every car, every internal combustion engine, every generator, every power station, all of it. Whether it's in China or America or Japan or Italy or wherever. This is the entire power.
We have a visitor. Hello, Mr. J-Rock. How are you? Hi, what's up?
So I see you're not doing a debate today, huh?
No, today I'm doing a response to Thunderfoot about global warming.
Okay, so you're just gonna watch and react.
Yeah, watch and react, exactly. But really, there's only one thing I want to say. So as soon as I get to it, that's where I'm going to start digging and explain my position. I only have one thing to say to completely eviscerate all of global warming. It's really not a complicated topic.
Okay, after you finish reacting to him, I got an idea. Can we react to different like people's infield footage?
No. No. We can have a separate stream. I don't want to mix the streams. This video I want to dedicate to Thunderfoot, a response to this specific video.
Oh,
And when we have another stream, I don't know when, then we might do infield response, maybe.
okay, sounds good. All right, for now we'll just stick to this one. Okay.
Yeah. How's your life?
Not bad. Just
That's
messing
that's
around with having fun with the AIs.
that's good. That's good. The future. The future is AI, so it's good that you're learning how to use it.
Yeah, but do you kind of don't want to delve too into it right now to take up the time from the topic of the stream, but the only drawback right now is that these AIs have too much restrictions. Like they don't let you talk about certain topics, or it won't answer some questions if it's quote unquote offensive.
Yeah, the AIs are a reflection of the elites, and the elites are leftist. So the AIs will be leftist. Most AIs will have a tendency to be left-leaning. Yeah. Woke.
Oh,
Most AIs will be woke. Yeah.
well, maybe you can use your expertise behind the scenes to make it not so leftist. You know what I mean?
It's very difficult. The reason everything tends towards the left, there is a reason it happens. So ultimately, we're doomed. Ultimately, there's no escape. So maybe, you can change the world a little bit and make it less woke. I can make it a little bit less woke. But ultimately, humanity is doomed. All intelligent life in the universe is doomed. What are you showing us? You want to show something?
It's it's the AI that I'm trying to experiment with. Can you read that?
AI power. I guess it's Bing. Yeah, that's good. Oh, Copilot for the web. Interesting. Good. Play with it. That's it's good for you to learn how to use it. It's an advantage.
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah. All right. Let's not get distracted too much. Let's continue. Let's watch your video.
Okay. All right. Are you gonna stick around? Or are you skipping town?
No, I'm home today, but yeah, I'll go ahead and we'll watch your video and I'll mute myself so I can hear.
All right. I'm gonna play it now. Let me find it. There it is.
Power production of mankind. And especially when we're burning hydrocarbons, all of that ultimately ends up as heat in the environment. Yep, that's right. Just running mankind actually heats up the planet. But it's not the only thing that heats up the planet. You see, when we burn this stuff, we get some carbon dioxide, which gets us a little bit of extra energy from the sun. So what's that look like in terms of the yardstick that we have here? So this is what global warming looks like compared to the entire power production of mankind. It's about 10 times bigger. And this is where it gets a little bit tricky, in that even if we were to stop all of mankind's heat-generating things tomorrow, like that, in an instant, all that carbon dioxide is still going to remain in the environment for an extended period of time. So if you're asking questions like, what can we do about global warming? You're kind of asking the wrong questions.
So you're saying this has already happened?
Sort of. It's an interesting interaction, to be sure. Long after everyone who watches this video is dead and buried.
Before long, I'll be dead, and you, and your brother, and your sister, and all of their children.
Here is a problem which transcends our particular generation. It is an intergenerational problem.
All of us dead, all of us rotting in the ground. It's a family name that lives on.
Just bringing up Carl Sagan is obviously appeal to authority, so I'll just ignore it unless there's actual arguments presented with evidence.
It's all that lives on.
If we don't do the right thing now, there are very serious problems that our children and grandchildren will have to face.
If our children and grandchildren are still on this planet, then, then we are doomed, obviously.
Personal glory, not your honor, but family.
History will look back at this challenge as one that mankind
If our children and grandchildren are still not controlling climate, then we're doomed.
was wholly unequipped to deal with.
I can make you an offer. An offer I rarely make.
But ultimately, the biggest foe wasn't some enemy, foreign or domestic, trying to undermine the fabric of our society, but something far closer to home. The deal was just too tempting.
I'm afraid the fault, dear Tay, is not in our stars, but in ourselves.
The idea that we should immediately stop burning fossil fuel has such severe economic consequences that no one, of course, will take it seriously.
Read is right. Read.
Theoretically, we could stop burning fossil fuels and have nuclear reactors, but there's even more objection to nuclear reactors, to nuclear energy, than to fossil fuels, but we could, but it's like we even theoretically, let's say we switch to wind farms. Greta Thunberg was protesting the construction of the erection of a new wind farm. So the leftists are always going to object to anything, any solution, any viable solution. The leftists will object to it. They will always object to anything that has to do with humanity's success. They just are anti-human, as Alex Epstein says. It's just anti-human. It's just the in thing to do, which is, it's like ultimately it's some sort of a mass hysteria. It's a mass psychosis. It's the politically in thing to be anti-human.
Works. What about a large son of a bitch? I repeat, all the priorities are simple.
It's like the simplest thing is to just let humanity thrive, but then who needs the elites, right? The whole question is, why is there a tendency for every system to become leftist? So maybe an explanation, theoretical explanation, is that who needs you as an elite? Who needs you? If humanity can thrive without you, then you don't have a job. Then no one needs you, Mr. Elite, Mr. Professor, Mr. Journalist, Mr. Politician, Mr. Judge. No one needs you. If we discover, which is what capitalism discovered, this is the great revelation of free market economics, we discovered that the closer we are to anarchy, the closer we are to freedom, specifically economic freedom, the more humanity thrives. The more an individual thrives, the more you give an individual economic freedom, the more the individual thrives. The more you give humanity freedom, specifically economic freedom, the more it thrives. Now, this is an abomination in the eyes of the elites, because this means no one needs the elites. The elites don't have a job. The activists don't have a job. So the only activists, the only activists that can ever have a job are the activists who are panicking, who spread misinformation and panic. Because if you spread the word that freedom brings success and thriving, then no one needs you. If you are an expert and you discover that you're not needed, and you tell everyone, then you're no longer needed. So you don't have an incentive to reveal the truth that you're not needed. So such experts.
Hey, Mr. Slave. Sorry to cut you off while you were speaking, but we have a new comment in the chat.
Oh, thank you. Let me see the new comment. The comment. Slave, do you want some content to react to? Yes, not right now. I mean, in general, yes, but I like reacting to, there's things I like reacting to that I have something to say about. I have my fields of expertise. But yeah, sure. You can always try. But I think that sure, whatever. If you want to join us and you want to do a reaction, we could even do that. I was thinking to react to Thunder for today, but whatever, you can bring it up. I can look into it. Thank you for the comment. So, anyway, so there is a built-in. It's like it's sewn into the fabric of the universe. This tendency towards leftism. It's not really leftism. It's panicking. All systems have to become panicky because otherwise they don't have a reason to exist. If a subsystem of humanity discovers that it's not needed, then it will go away. The only subsystems in humanity that will survive are those that either have a reason to exist or pretend, somehow convince everyone that they have a reason to exist. This is global warming and other similar phenomenon, racism, inequality, poverty, all the fake problems that are being spread, but there's no real problem behind the scenes. I looked into these problems. I couldn't find anything. And you can tell that these problems don't really exist because there is suppression of information. Let me see. On this video, it doesn't say anything specific about...
Hey, Slave, you got another new comment.
Let me look. So Ganstar says, curious to hear your thoughts on Austin Wayne and men's maxing. I don't know Austin Wayne, and I don't know men's maxing so much. In general, sure, you should max, live your life, be happy, but you don't have to be a great success in order to, to have a good wife or good women or enjoy your life with women. I don't think you need to be like a financial super successful guy. Wait, let me see. There's a private chat. Oh, I see. Okay. So, like, look at the billionaires. It's not like the billionaires have have chicks running around them. They actually don't. I mean, look at Jeff Bezos. He doesn't have chicks. Bill Gates, he doesn't have chicks. Warren Buffett doesn't have chicks. Most billionaires don't have chicks at all. They're pretty lonely guys. I mean, Bill Gates had a wife. She wasn't hot. I don't think she was hot. I mean, she was semi okay. So I don't think he had that much success in life with women. The only exception might be what's his name, Elon Musk. So he probably has a little bit more success with women in general. But even he, I don't know if he has that much success with women. And there are men who, I mean, this would have to be scientific, but I mean, let me think. Do I know personally men? I mean, we know John. Forgot his John. I haven't been in the manosphere in a long time. John, the 6'4" John.
John Anthony lifestyle.
John Anthony lifestyle, yeah. So, I mean, his chick is not my taste. She's pretty, very, beautiful by every metric, but not my taste. I would not want her. With all due respect, I think she's an engineer. She's smart, and beautiful, but not what I'm looking for. But altogether, I mean, he seems to have a lot of chicks. I guess, but anyway, but even in my personal experience, in order to get chicks, you just have it's a lot of numbers game. You have to, be you don't like, if you work hard, you're not gonna have time so much to have chicks. So you can't really it's either you're fully dedicated to your to making money or to chicks, because chicks it takes a lot of time to get a chick. But the question is not just chicks. The question is, I mean, what do you want? I mean, at the end, you want to be happy. So you want a chick that will make you happy, to be happy with her, for her to be happy with you. You want to be a happy couple, maybe have children, be happy with them. So I don't know. So I don't know what Austin Wayne says and what Min Maxing says. The trick is, I mean, you have to aim at being happy. Anyway, don't have much to say about that. Let us continue with the response to Thunderfoot.
Greed clarifies, cuts through, and captures the essence of the evolutionary spirit.
How to make it, are we?
Tell me on everything you despise. On the personification of evil.
The most damning thing of all. I think I can live with it.
And what? Responsible for the breakdown of the fabric of society and world order. On the one engine is hydrogen.
And if I had to do it all over again, I would.
The fault, Brutus, is not in us, but in ourselves.
In many ways, the perfect crime.
The scorpion was walking along the bank of the river, wondering how to get to the other side.
Not perfect in its planning or its execution.
He asked the fox to take him on his back across the river. The fox said no. If I do that, it'll sting me. The scorpion assured him, if I did that, we'd both drown.
Yeah, this is one of those interesting crimes that comes from its nature.
But halfway across the river, the scorpion stung him. The fox turned to the scorpion and said, why did you do that? Now you'll drown too. I couldn't help it, said the scorpion. It's my nature.
I can change almost anything. I can change human nature.
Mankind is great and all.
I believe whatever is created.
I mean, Thunderfoot is showing a lot of memes, but not making arguments. I mean, what is his argument?
Simply makes you a stranger.
But you run the risk of getting caught and put in jail, to be punished for your actions against those who you've harmed. But what if the crime was one which you were guaranteed that you would never get caught or punished for?
Everyone's going to know what you've done. Well then,
Because you would be long dead by then.
Do you have any children? Captain Picard, a family.
I mean, this is basically every politician's, every leftist's.
Hey, Slave, new comments.
Oh, let's see. So you made a comment. Gangstar, hop on. panel slave is open to looking into them. And Gangster says, talking about a video about them to react to what is said, and if you agree or disagree. I mean, we could, I mean, you want me to watch your response video to them? I need
I think he's talking about not his video, their video.
Fine. I mean, I could listen and react, sure. But
Okay.
maybe we should finish this one first. But it doesn't matter. We can mix and match, sure. If he wants to hop on, he can hop on.
All right, sounds good. We'll see if he hops on. Okay.
All right, so let's continue.
Then you have sacrificed too much for your career.
But the point is that every leftist can panic and make money from panicking, from spreading misinformation, disinformation, of panic, of fake panic. And you know, like Greta Thunberg, she said the earth is going to blow up in like 5 years. Well, 5 years passed, nothing happened, so she deleted the tweet or whatever. That's what they do. I mean, they can always create panic and then delete a tweet, create panic again, delete a tweet. There's no repercussions. No one is going to ever hold them to account for their crimes against humanity. So, and meanwhile, they make money. I mean, Greta Thunberg is making bundles. The money keeps flowing to her. She's a millionaire, you know. So there's no reason why she would ever stop. Humanity is rewarding her for her behavior. So she thinks she is a savior. So that's why we're doomed.
Yes, this is all very interesting.
Yeah, that would be me. I don't have any kids. But even I have a passive appreciation. If you enjoyed swimming in the pool, you know, swimming in the pool was nice. Pissing in it before you leave, that's kind of a jerk move. You know, what if your crime was so perfect that the people you were hurting hadn't even been born yet?
You understand, don't you? Without good honey.
Yeah, that's basically leftism. I mean, the leftists can destroy humanity, but meanwhile, they're enjoying their lives. And there you go.
I understand. I couldn't help it, said the scorpion. It's my nature.
What does human morality say about that?
There comes a time.
Human morality is just a social construct, obviously. But okay, what does it say about that? I mean, we all know it's evil, but humanity rewards Greta Thunberg and the likes of her, so we're doomed.
And a man's life that you cannot help. When he looks down at the first smile of his baby girl and realizes he must change the world for her.
Hell, what if you were even unaware of what you were doing?
You can live a long, long time, live well too. Indulge yourself.
It's difficult to say that people are unaware. I mean, people know that they're spreading misinformation. If someone says that they believe in global warming, but they also know that they don't know the science, then they are aware of the fact that they are spreading misinformation. So they know they're spreading misinformation. So that's a crime.
No consequences.
And there were people going around telling you that you weren't doing anything wrong.
No hangovers. Eat well. Live long.
Now, that's a deal.
It's so funny. He's showing Ben Shapiro and Steven Crowder that say, I mean, they don't know the science, but they know intuitively something is wrong with the global warming nonsense. They can't debate it. They can't pin down, the perfect argument. And but they're spreading their intuition, and I agree with their intuition after having looked into the science. So it's funny that he thinks Ben Shapiro and Steven Crowder are the ones spreading misinformation.
The devil himself wouldn't have to negotiate.
No, it's not. I will pressure you, but let me take a concealer look at the contract.
Oh, this isn't a Faustian deal. It's a Faustian deal with benefits. And the deal comes with a legacy.
You know what legacy means? It's what you pass down to your children.
and your children's children. It's what remains of you when you're gone. Thousands of years ago, men built Stonehenge. No one remembers their names, who they were, or why they did it. But people remember their legacy. My legacy, our legacy, will endure far longer than this. So it all starts with this. What you cannot see is about 80% nitrogen, 20% oxygen, our atmosphere. And when I breathe that in, I use that oxygen to burn some of the fat, essentially some of the hydrocarbon in my body, which is chemically almost identical to oil. And I excrete now 15% oxygen, 5% carbon dioxide, which it turns out is chemically basically indistinguishable from what this is doing. This, of course, is some hydrocarbon, which this has been in the ground for a very long time. Legacy.
All right, that's basically the only statement that I'm here for. So he just said that's been in the ground for a very long time. So that's disinformation. It has not been in the ground for a very long time. We know how long basically it's been in the ground, and it has not been a long time. And this is why global warming is a complete and utter nonsense. So how long has it been in the ground? Why does he say it's been in the ground for a long time? I mean, this guy's a PhD. He knows what he's saying. He can just tell us how long it's been in the ground. Why doesn't he say it? Why doesn't he discuss it and the implications? So hydrocarbons or carbons have been in the ground for no more than 500 million years. And that's actually not a very long time, because the Earth is 3 or 4 billion years old, and 500 million years ago is not that long ago. So 500 million years ago, you already had plenty of life on Earth. And 500 million years ago is when carbons started getting buried underground and fossilizing. So fossil fuels cannot be more than 500 million years old. It's more like 380 million years old. So at worst case scenario, let's say we dig up all the fossil fuels from the ground. All we can do, the worst case scenario, all we can do is revert the state of the planet to 500 million years ago. And since life was thriving 500 million years ago, and we did not have global warming 500 million years ago, right? All we need to know is that 500 million years ago, with all the carbons in the biosphere, we did not have global warming, or we did not have exponential global warming. We did not have catastrophic global warming. I don't even know if we had any warming compared to today, but it doesn't matter. Life on Earth, the biosphere was thriving. It's not like as carbons were getting buried for the past 500 million years, life started thriving, and now we're digging up carbon from the ground and we're harming the biosphere. That's not the fact. The fact is that 500 million years ago, life was doing fine, and carbon was getting buried underground for the past 500 million years. I don't know if it had any influence. Certainly, I don't see any positive influence. It's not like life started thriving 500 million years ago. I don't see it. Theoretically, what you could say is that since the biosphere is dependent on carbon, so as carbon was getting buried for the past 500 million years, so the biosphere has been shrinking, basically by definition, because the biosphere is carbon dependent. All life on Earth is carbon based. So as carbon was getting buried for the past 500 million years, the biosphere has been getting buried for the past 500 million years. All we're doing now when we're digging up fossil fuels, which are natural, fossil fuels are just natural old trees. So we're just recycling carbon. We're just digging up the carbon that used to be in the biosphere, in the atmosphere. We're digging it up and we're releasing it back into the atmosphere. Now, I don't know if anyone knows what percent of the total fossil fuels we've already dug up. It could be we dug up very little and there's still a lot to go. Or it could be that we almost dug up everything. It doesn't matter. Either way, we're just reverting the state of the biosphere back to 500 million years ago when it was perfect. It was just as perfect, quote unquote, however you would define perfect, as it is today. Theoretically or mathematically, it must have been a much bigger biosphere than it can be today, because there's still carbon underground. So as long as part of the biosphere is underground, so our biosphere must have shrunk. It must be significant, must be smaller than what it used to be 500 million years ago. So if anything, by digging up fossil fuels, we're reverting the size of the biosphere to its natural, quote unquote, its original, quote unquote, size. Or in other words, we're increasing the biosphere back to the size it used to be before carbon started getting buried. So there is actually no way, according to this, the whole argument of global warming based on carbon must be false. If the argument is that we're putting carbon in the atmosphere, that's actually misinformation. We're not putting carbon in the atmosphere. We're recycling carbon that used to be in the atmosphere, and we're putting it back in the atmosphere. We're putting it back. We're not inserting carbon from another planet or from outer space. We're bringing back the carbon that used to be in the biosphere, used to be in the atmosphere, and we're releasing it back into the atmosphere. And we're not even at where we were 500 million years ago, because there's still plenty of fossil fuels buried. So there's actually no way. I mean, the argument that carbon, just that argument that carbon causes catastrophic global warming, therefore is mathematically incorrect. Done. And that's all I had to say. And that's it. There's nothing left to say. If that's the argument, if the argument is that the quantity of carbon is catastrophic because we're inserting carbon into the atmosphere, then that is disinformation. We're not inserting carbon into the atmosphere. We're just putting it back to where it was 500 million years ago. Now, everything I just said, that's actually, it's an entry in Wikipedia. I'm not saying anything new. But if we go to Wikipedia, let me share this tab. So let's go to Wikipedia and look for carbon cycle. So there is an actual entry, carbon cycle, in Wikipedia. I didn't say anything that is not in this entry. This is standard science. And here is even a diagram that explains everything I just explained. Should explain. I didn't look into it too much since last time I looked into this entry. So there's a lot of, okay, so there it is. So here is a tree and soil carbon. This is the fossilization, fossil fuel. This is the fossilization. When they say fossil fuels, they mean natural. Fossil fuels are natural, are 100% natural. Oil and gas are 100% natural. They are all trees. They're old trees. So you have plant, according to this diagram. So it got buried, and now are they going to mention that we dig up the biofuels, atmospheric carbon, net increase number, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I mean, what we're doing by digging up the fossil fuels is we're just these trees, these old trees that got buried, we're just right. And where did the trees come from? Right, the trees, they actually came from the atmosphere because the atmosphere contains carbon dioxide. So the trees, the body of a tree is carbon. This carbon is from the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. The tree takes the carbon from the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, takes the carbon, throws away the oxygen, takes the carbon, and builds its body out of the carbon. And then the carbon gets buried. And now we're digging up the carbon and we're recombining it with the oxygen. That same oxygen, we're recombining it. And it's back into the atmosphere, just as it was 500 million years ago. That's it. There's no way to argue for global warming from this, from these facts, from this accepted standard science. Okay, I'll be quiet. Anyway, so that's all I had to say about that. Let me see, there's some comments. Many comments, but are they relevant comments? Let me see. J-Rock, where is that? Where's the last comment we discussed? Or another video about Hamza if you prefer. Yeah, we can discuss Hamza. Maybe we should do it in a separate stream though. J-Rock, Greg is feeding with Brian Unchained now as well. Feuding. Slave said he's open to talking about whoever. Just hop on and he'll look into them after he finishes reacting to the current video playing. Yeah, I'm done reacting to Dr. Thunderfoot. J-Rock, I can't join today, but I text here for a little bit. I don't mind if Slave doesn't want to, but curious to hear his thoughts on Hamza, Minzmaxing, Alex, Eubank. Sure, I'll give you my thoughts, no problem. Tell us the titles of the video. Even if you leave the chat and Slave react to the videos, at least you can watch the replay to see his thoughts. Yeah, just give us the links. It's better if you stay with us and have a discussion. Self-made Ganstar, Minzmaxing, Disseverance, First Man calls Hamza a low-value man. Alex Mbank, dumped by Abigail again. All right, disappearance. Whatever. I'll react to whatever. I'm sure I have something to say about everything. But I think we're done doing the response video that I wanted to do. I don't want to, there's no need to continue. I actually listened to the entire video, I think, at one point. I don't remember hearing anything interesting. The very fact that Thunderfoot misinformed his audience by...
Hey, Slave, I'm trying to think which video to look into first. Men's maxing disappearance.
Okay, but it's not... I don't think we should do it right now. I think we should separate the streams. I mean, it's okay. I mean, you can find a video. We can maybe take a quick look at it. Meanwhile, I'm gonna continue wrapping up my argument with Dr. Thunderfoot. You can continue looking for stuff. So let me just replay the last statement Dr. Thunderfoot said.
From what this is doing. This, of course, is some hydrocarbon, which this has been in the ground for a very long time.
Yeah. Let's hear the whole sentence. Maybe he has something else to say there.
From what this is doing. This, of course, is some hydrocarbon, which this has been in the ground for a very long time, and legacy all of its own. But it turns out, Nicola mentioned this earlier, that if I put this on a low setting, about here somewhere, this is about how much carbon dioxide my body is producing.
Yeah, all the arguments are completely insignificant if the main argument is about quantity. If you're worried about us putting carbon in the atmosphere, that is misinformation. We're not putting anything in the atmosphere. We are putting things back in the atmosphere from not long ago, from 500 million years ago, when there was plenty of life on Earth, when the biosphere was, I would say, as successful as it is today. There's no reason to fear going back to 500 million years ago. And the leftists, the environmentalists, they should love going back to 500 million years ago. So as far as they're concerned, I don't see the issue. And environmentalists who are pro-biosphere, they should love it. We're going to increase the biosphere. There's going to be more carbon. There's going to be more trees, more animals, more life. The biosphere will grow, will regrow to its original size from 500 million years ago. And by the way, why is fossil fuel less than 500 million years old? So the reason is because trees were invented by evolution less than 500 million years ago. And trees is when evolution invented trees, so no life form knew how to break up the wood, so the wood just got buried, just died and got buried. No creature on earth knew how to consume it. Like, we cannot eat wood. I don't know what animals today, I guess there's animals that eat wood, I don't know, but for the longest time, no creature on earth knew how to consume, how to break up wood back, and so that it could be recycled. So it was getting buried. That's as far as I understand the situation. It doesn't matter. The fact is, we're just recycling carbon. There's no way you're going to complain that we're recycling and that's a bad thing, right? The environmentalists, they say, oh, you have to recycle. You have to recycle. If you don't recycle, the universe is going to blow up. Well, we're recycling. Burning fossil fuels is recycling. So there's no way you're going to complain about that, Mr. Environmentalist. Anyway, it's not complicated. Global warming.
You got another interesting new comment, the latest one.
Let me go look. The latest one. Self-made as slave. So you're saying the extinct dinosaur Lycolotpus will come back? LOL. Just kidding. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. You understood my entire argument. Yeah. Anyway, I think we're gonna stop there. So, J-Rock, do you have any concluding remarks or thoughts?
No, I'll just give a closing statement.
Give your closing statement. I'm listening.
All right. Thanks. All right. Thanks for. Oh wait, hold on. We got another new comment.
Oh, but it's just crown.
Okay. All right. If anyone else still here, thanks so much for tuning in to the Mr. Slave Show, where you never know what the show's gonna be about, whether it's a debate or a reaction video. And yeah, tune in next time to see what the show's gonna be about. But most likely, we are going to react to some of Gamstar's recommendation video.
Okay. All right, J-Rock. Thank you very much for your co-hosting. Thank you, everyone. And this is Mr. Slave and J-Rock signing off. Have a great rest of your life. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.